everybody. We're back with the author of the new book, War, Mr. Bob Woodward. The book began as a report on the war in Ukraine. And in that reporting, you uncovered an event that you say is one of the most dramatic, significant in U.S. military history. What was that? Oh,
Well, there are a number of them, but one I was able to get a literal transcript of the general in the United States who is Defense Secretary.
Lloyd Austin?
Lloyd Austin, a very strong, forceful man, calls up his counterpart in Russia and says, "We know you are about to use a tactical nuclear weapon because..."
Wait, when is this?
Yeah, this is in 2 years ago in October.
Has the war started at this point?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, the war started.
So at the beginning of the war, Russia was seriously...
Well, 6 months into it, and we have such good intelligence, we find out exactly what they are planning. We are in the enemy's tent, so to speak.
So he says, I know it.
I know it, and don't do it. And in fact, it is a marvelous transcript because he just says, look, if you use tactical nuclear weapons, this will be the first time since 1945 you will change and define the world. And it's a speech that ought to be put on the wall of the Oval Office of, you go down that trail, you are endangering a series of relations.
So what did the Russians say?
And the Russians said, no, they're not planning on doing it, and thankfully they did not do it.
So
they keep teasing this.
Did they push back at all on him? Because that seems like a threat.
They just deny it. They just deny it. And Austin is so strong, the defense minister in Russia, Shoigu, says, I don't like being threatened. And Austin says, Mr. Minister, I am the leader of the most powerful military in the history of the world. I don't make threats.
That's badass and chilling at the same time.
Yeah.
While you were writing about the wars in Ukraine and the spreading conflict in the Middle East, the June 27th debate happened between Trump and Biden. After you saw that, did you think Biden would drop out?
I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, it was just an awful, awful performance.
Did you talk to him around that time?
No, I did not. But what I did, a week later, he had a private lunch with his closest aide, Tony Blinken, who's the Secretary of State, and I have an account of that lunch. May we all have a friend like Tony Blinken, because he sat down with the president and he asked the questions that needed to be asked. Are you sure you want to keep doing this? Is the point where Biden's still running. Are you sure you want to keep doing this for another 4 years? Do you want your legacy to be part of this? And laid the groundwork. As we know, 17 days later, Biden dropped out.
We have to take a break right here, but we'll be right back with more Mr. Bob Woodward, everybody.